Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 5:30 on Sunday 15th of November. Just making my way down to the land, trying to beat the weather this morning. As always, not quite sure what we're going to get done, but let's find out. Well, here we are, down on the land. Another cool, damp morning. Just trying to get ahead of the weather. You can't even see across the field, it's way too early yet. So I'll not bother filming walking across. I'll give you some updates as and when I get the cabin opened up. Well, just opening up the cabin, you can't see a thing outside. You can just kind of see the reflected light on the new garden room inside. But a big difference as I pan round into the cabin. I'll not show you too much of the floor because it's a disaster zone from yesterday. So I'm going to get myself sorted out in here, get everything opened up. More importantly, get the wood burner going, get the kettle on, and hopefully it's not too long before I can look out here and actually see something and get a bit more work done. The weather forecast is not good, but maybe we can chat about that while I have a coffee and wait for daylight. Well, here we are, sitting in the dark, waiting for the daylight. Well, not strictly sitting in the dark because we've got lights in the cabin. So I'll ease gently into the day. It is cold and damp out there. I am surprised there isn't a frost, but I suspect it's not long before we get another one. Just been out and opened up the polytunnel. I've got those boards in there that I painted yesterday, and there's only one side painted clearly. I was debating, should I try and paint the other side before I put them on, but on reflection I think stick with the one side painted. I can put that to the inside to save trying to work around the framing, and then I'll just paint the outside once it's up. That's assuming, of course, that the weather's kind to us this morning. The reason for the ridiculously early start is that it is forecast rain again today, and then coming in later on in the afternoon we've got some strong winds, up to gale force winds. So I really want to get cracking with this morning. I'm kind of impatiently itching now to see daybreak over the trees, but it's not coming. I can potter in here and gradually get all of my tools and ladders and everything else outside into the garden room, ready for launching into the construction stuff. Fire's going, but again today that cloud cover is really low and it is struggling. I was sat thinking about this last night, bizarre thing to be thinking about, but there's been a bit of a difference since I started the garden room construction, and I think what it might be, and I'm no expert, so if you are an expert in wood burning stoves, do start sticking some comments as to what might have gone wrong. But there's a distinct change. That fire, it took literally minutes to have a decent base in, and since I did the garden room construction, it's now taking longer. Doesn't seem to be drawing, and the only thing I can think of, and it might be total I might be talking nonsense, I'm just wondering if the garden room is stopping the airflow coming through. I noticed this morning we're on the normal southwesterly winds, which means it's coming this way. But I am fairly sure that that garden room has something to do with it. Now it's enclosed. The airflow that used to come through the cabin door and help draw the fire isn't there. Now I'm wondering, again, I have got the window in that northern wall. So once everything is sealed up and weathertight, I might experiment a little bit with lighting the fire with that window closed and lighting the fire with that window open. As I say, I could be talking complete nonsense, I really don't know, but definitely this last 2 weekends I have struggled to get that fire going. It is burning. I came in this morning, emptied out the ash, and it was burned through, but it's not a flame, if that makes sense. It's more of a smouldering and a lot of smoke. If I open that door even slightly now to try and get some draw through, I just end up with clouds of smoke coming back into the cabin. And it's only just cleared now. You would have not believed how much smoke there was in here earlier. Anyway, this isn't really a cabin chat, this is just a chat. Some of the stuff that's going through my mind. While I'm sat here waiting for the light to come, I've got some reading material. Don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on camera or not. Beekeeping books. I ordered these last week and they came, I don't know what night it was, Thursday night, Friday night, I can't remember now. So I've got 2 little books on beekeeping. One of them doesn't look that great on first reflection. It's one of those homemade, self-published kind of books, which has got, I think, 47, 48. Let me have a little look. It's got 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, but actually 48 and 49, there's nothing really on there but apart from the end. And then the others are just blank pages. I've got 4 pages at the back that are completely blank. And talk about large, big space typing. I bet there's not more than 800 words in this whole book. Anyway, I will be reading it. This other one seems to be a bit more comprehensive. Lots and lots of pictures in there as well. But why have I got beekeeping books? Funny you should ask. I was talking to a contractor at work, Simon. He has seen some of my videos, so if you're watching, Simon, hi. Thank you. This is all to do with you. But yeah, essentially I was talking to this contractor and he started beekeeping, I think he said last year, but not too long ago. And he's been gradually increasing his number of hives. And in March, April time, he'll be ready to create another hive. And he's already got several. And just by pure chance over the last few months, we've had conversations about off-grid, and he mentioned bees, and I said it was something I'd like to do. And then lo and behold, this last week, he popped in and said, March, April time, I'm going to have a hive. If you're interested, I'll give you one. So I bit his hand off. I said, yes please, I'll have that. It's been something I've been interested in. Not too sure, because I know nothing really. That's why I've got these books. I know nothing about beekeeping, but I am keen to learn. Lots of different reasons why I'm interested and why bees are important. You'll remember during the growing season this year, I talked a lot about insects not being able to get into the polytunnel and pollinate the plants, and there seemed to be a distinct lack of pollination going on with things like the pumpkin and squash outside in the raised beds. So pollination is clearly one thing. Kind of from a natural spit the words out. Natural world perspective, bees are mega important. All insects really are for pollination. If we didn't have the bees and the insects, there'd be no pollination, which means there'd be no crops. And then we would be in trouble. And finally, of course, they produce honey. And it's a natural alternative to sugar. And indeed, it's healthier, far healthier than the refined sugar that we get. So lots of reasons why I'm interested in bees and the potential for me to have my own bees here on the land. So I'm getting excited already. We're only in November and this isn't likely to come to fruition till March, April time. But I'm already excited and thinking about it and thinking where on the land the hives can go, because you can't just stick them in the middle of a field. They do need some shelter and a fairly stable temperature. They don't like to be in direct sun for prolonged periods. So yeah, there we go. This the next project next year, they could even end up being the first animals, although they're strictly not animals. They might beat the chickens, you never know. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that little tidbit with you. Something for me to look forward to and to do lots of research on over the winter. And clearly I also need to buy a hive. So there's a debate then again as to what kind of hive I'll need to buy. But as always, I'll be sure to keep you up to date with progress on that. I keep looking outside in the vain hope that it might be coming daylight soon. I can see a glimmer on the horizon, but it's just like a little grey smudge. It's not light per se, so I think I might have to wait another half hour, 45 minutes maybe. But as I said earlier, that'll give me time to sort the cabin out, get my gear outside so that I am ready to go. As soon as I can see what I'm doing, I can launch straight into it. And I'll keep you up to date as we go along. Well, it seems to be taking forever, but gradually, I think you can see that little glimmer of blue just peeking out from behind the trees. There we go. In the distance there is the suggestion of a little bit of light coming. It is still too dark around the outside of the cabin. You won't see it, I don't think, but I've got step ladders out. But yeah, I don't think we'll be too long now before we can actually see what we're doing. This side's not too bad, to be fair. I've got quite a bit of light coming out from the cabin, but sod's law, the side that I want to work on is still in darkness. But I think another half an hour perhaps and we'll be all right, we'll be good to go. I don't know if you can see the smoke or not on the wood burner. It is really struggling. So all you wood burner experts out there, come on, tell me why that is. But I do suspect it's something to do with this garden room. I guess we'll find out as I experiment over the next few weekends. Anyway, I'm going to get myself back in the cabin, get myself sorted out, get my tools out into the garden room, and hopefully we'll be starting work soon. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men and all that. I've literally just walked back inside after talking to you, watching for the sunrise, or the daylight, and I don't know if you can hear that. That's the rain. How typical is that? Literally just started now. I'm praying that it's just going to drift over. But yeah, damn it. I think the waterproofs might need to come out. And I'll be working out in the rain, I think. Nothing I can do about it, I'm afraid, except work around it. Well, as usual, there's always one more thing. I've just popped some more boards in here. I am clearly going to need more than I've got painted up, so I'll just quickly stick some paint on a few more boards, and then they can be drying. Well, I hope they can be drying while I'm busy putting the boards on the garden room. Well, that's another 5 boards painted up. Hopefully they can start drying out while I get the boards onto the cabin itself. I'm not sure that they'll dry in time, but if they go up wet, they go up wet. Well, we're slowly making progress in between the rain. I've got these boards in now down the end where the plastic sheet stops, just that infill. I've got 3 boards. That's been a bit of a pain trying to get inside there. I can't remember who commented. Dave, I think it was. Yeah, it would have been, I don't know if it would have been easier to tie it to the tractor garage or not, but it's in, which is all that counts. Probably took a bit longer than I should have done, but hey, at least it is in. Just whiz round the inside, you can see the boards a little bit better from the inside. There we go. So that's infilled that gap right at the end of the sheeting and cut around the waste pipe. I will have to cover that. It looks like a small hole, but I have no doubt that some kind of critter will be able to get in there. But that's a job for another day. So yeah, that's that boarded in. Just got to get along the roof line now. And I know from yesterday that that's not going to be an easy task, but it's progress, and that's what counts. Well, that's the first board on this this roof line on the gable end here. These are the boards I painted yesterday, so the inside is painted but the outside isn't, so I'll have to paint these as I go along. But I just want to get that first one in to see where my line is, and then I can work from that first board. It's slow progress, but it is progress. That's what we're looking for, as long as we get something done. Doesn't matter how slowly. It might today, because I do want to get this done and completely weather tight today, but this is the hardest bit. If I get this out the way, it'll be easy going from there on. Well, that's the second board along, so that sheeting now, the plastic sheeting, is nicely covered and secured at the top, so I'm not worried about water getting down inside. I'm just gonna have to crack on now, because I don't know if you can see the drips on the roof. We've got this light drizzle coming down. It kind of comes and goes, so I really do need to get cracking on this, so apologies if I don't take many clips, but I will obviously show you as we get close to the end. But I just really do need to get cracking. Well, we're slowly getting there. The end nearest the cabin is almost done. Just one tiny little piece to cut for that top corner, and I've got 2 and a bit boards to go on here at the front, or the back, whichever way you look at it. The side nearest the window. It is bloody slow progress. I've stopped a couple of times because it's been raining, and I'm just nervous about all that paint getting washed off. But unfortunately, it's because I'm overlapping, I have to paint it. Anyway, at the moment it's not raining. We've actually got a little tiny bit of blue sky directly above, but in the distance some mega clouds coming. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking. I am dying for a coffee, but I'm going to have to try and finish this first, and then I can relax a little bit, because that bit by the window is going to be fairly quick, he said. Nothing ever is. Well, that's the far end done. I've got 2 and a bit boards left, and then the whole gable end will be weather tight. This rain just keeps playing games with me, but we're making good progress, and thankfully I've got a bit of a break in the weather now. Well, I clearly spoke too soon about that patch of blue cloud, because all of a sudden the heavens have opened. I don't know if you can see that coming down off the roof. I'm sure you can hear it. It's absolutely chucking it down. I've just got that last little bit of that gable end to do. I was just busy cutting some wood when the heavens opened, so I'll just give it 10 minutes or so, grab a little coffee. I keep meaning to grab a coffee, but I never get time. Then we'll see if it stops or not. It is really coming down. Well, that's the gable end finished, thank God. I'm in and out like a yo-yo. So now just this piece by the window to do. So I'll get cutting some wood. I can at least do that inside. I've got my measurements, and there's a few bits of infilling to be done as well. I need to cut some support strips just to run underneath the plastic roof sheeting. Same kind of thing as I did over here. I just infilled between the rafters. So same thing along that top ridge, just to provide some support. There is lots of other little fiddly bits and pieces to do. I'm thinking about boarding in on the inside in that corner, and also here by the door, just to give it a bit more rigidity and a bit more security around the door as well. So I've got two skins rather than one. Window window still needs to be painted, but I don't know, we'll see how we get on time wise. The day is just flying by. I'm spending more time hiding from the rain than I am actually working outside, which is a bit annoying, but we are still making progress, and that's what counts. Well, in between the rain, we're slowly making progress. Not far off being finished around this window. A couple of more horizontal strips, and then don't know quite what to do with that. I guess it depends how much wood I've got left. But I don't think I've got a lot. Anyway, so I'm painting as I go. The insides are already painted, but I need to do the outside. We're not far away, thankfully. Well, I can officially say the cabin is weather tight. Gable end by the door, the rear where the window is, all boarded in, and the gable end by the tractor garage. So we're now officially weather tight. It's been a long old slog trying to get this done, but we're there. There are still some things to do inside, but the panic really for keeping the weather out is over. I can do the little bits inside at my leisure now, so I think I deserve a cup of coffee and to sit down. Well, I'm busy on the internals. I've boarded up at the side of the door there just to give that a bit of extra strength and security. I'm busy now putting these infills under the ends of the sheets. I've got 2 in, 3 to go. I'm actually just painting this one now, the 3rd one. So everything's going according to plan. The cabin's watertight, which is the most important thing. If I get these 3 infills in, and that'll be about it for today, because as usual, time's flying by. It's almost dinner time. But thankfully we're making some real good progress. Very happy today. I can walk away tonight knowing that everything that I wanted to do is done, and it's watertight and secure. I've got a nice big new bolt on the outside, which is actually bolted through the door, so that's going nowhere. So yeah, onward and upward. 3 more of these infills to do, and that'll be it. Well, that's all those little infills screwed in and painted. So that's the last little bit, and it's looking good. So everything now is done, watertight all the way around. Really pleased. I'm worn out, but everything's done. So all I need to do now is, you can hear that wind picking up. All I need to do now is get tidied up in the cabin, close the polytunnel up, and we'll be ready to go. Well, there we are. We're all closed up, and it's looking a lot different. Got a blinding bit of sun suddenly appeared just as it's time to go home, but it is dinner time and I am worn out, but it's looking really good. Really pleased to have got that finished. Lots of stuff to do inside still. There always is another job. I've got to figure out the layout of how the little raised beds are going to go, and it wants a proper floor in there. Not sure whether to put gravel or slabs, but that's for another day. It's now all locked up, looking very nice. Not even looked at the garden. Polytunnel's closed up. Just a quick look at these potatoes. They've been hit a couple of times by frost, these, but they are still green and growing. So not time to take them yet. Likewise, the carrots, they can do with a little bit longer, I think. They're probably eatable size right now, but you know, let's leave it for another weekend, I guess. Everything else is pretty much as it was. These cauliflowers have been hit again by butterflies. I didn't think they came out this late in the season, but clearly they do. Ones in the barrel are alright. I'm doubtful though we're going to get anything. Anyway, I am worn out, so that's it for another day. Typical. We had rain all day, on and off. Some of it really torrential stuff. And now, as I'm going home, it decides to put out some blinding sunshine. Anyway, I need a shower, I need food, and I'll need to upload this video.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's the garden room looking now that it's weather tight? It's been a long slog, but I'm really pleased today that it's finally done. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And also, if you know anything about beekeeping, let me know in the comments section below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.